Welcome to the NCAA Championship in the Studio, presented by AT&T.
We are counting you down to tip-off here on ESPN just over a half hour before NC State and Michigan State go head-to-head, and you see two of the stars right there for the Spartans. Grace Van Slooten, 17 points and 10 rebounds in their last game, second straight double-double. Isaiah James, always a walking bucket. She scored 15 or more and 12 straight games. What will happen in just about a half hour right here on ESPN as we say hello from inside our women's basketball studios alongside the two-time national championship winning coach, Hall of Famer Muffet McGraw, Megan McEwen, Kelsey Riggs-Cuff. It is great to be with you, and we are going to get to see the final eight teams today, y'all, punch their ticket to the Sweet 16. Coach, you've been in this position, I don't know, once or twice, maybe way more time. Meanwhile, we are counting you down to tip-off here on ESPN between Michigan State and NC State. That's Sanaya Rivers looking locked in. She's had 8 double-doubles this season, including one in the first round. There in TCU, going to be a fascinating matchup to see that. This is going to be an incredible matchup as well, as the countdown to tip is brought to you by Instacart. Zoe Brooks and NC State trying to punch their ticket to another Sweet 16. Michigan State may have something to say about that, and we've got the breakdown after this. Y'all should see Coach McGraw play into the camera working on Eaton. We had her doing it here in the studio. NC State and Michigan State getting ready to go head-to-head. This NC State team has won 22 straight at home, 19 straight NCAA tournament games. And earlier today, West Durham caught up with their head coach, Wes Moore.
Coach, you've had great success in this building.
Yeah.
How much does that impact today?
Yeah, you hope it impacts it a lot. You're right. We've had a lot of momentum here, and again, our fans make a big difference. But you know, you got to go earn it every day. And so again, we know Michigan State's going to be a big challenge, and we're going to have to play really well.
You're trying to get to your 6th Sweet 16 last 7 years. What is a key against Robin Fralick's team?
Yeah, I think we got to handle their pressure, both at full court press and the half court. They really get after you, get in the passing lanes, pressure the ball. So we're going to have to take care of the ball, because if you turn it over, it's transition the other way, either a layup or an open three. So that's going to be the big thing, handling their heat.
The West and West show there. We're going to get the NC State, Michigan State show in just about 3 minutes. As you see, they always got a little flair, don't they, NC State, when they're getting ready for their games. And we are going to get you ready for that game now as we take a look a little bit more in depth. And what do you have your eye on in this matchup?
Grace Van Slooten for Michigan State's been an excellent pickup for them coming out of the portal. She understands spacing, moves really well without the ball, and she can finish through contact. She's a strong body. She anticipates well, and she always finishes balanced. Look at that block there. Averaging 15 and 7, but like Coach said, you got the press that Michigan State brings. NC State's going to have to be able to handle that.
Well, and they've had some practice having played Duke and Louisville in the ACC. That really prepares them. And Zoe Brooks is somebody that has really stepped up. Got a career-high 34 against Notre Dame this year. She's the second leading scorer. She scores primarily off the dribble. Not a lot of assists for this team. She's not a really good three-point shooter. She shoots maybe 2 per game, but she's going to get it done.
Our first of 8 games right here across the ESPN family of networks as we punch those final tickets to the Sweet 16. West Durham, Angela Taylor, take it over.
Chelsea, thank you. We welcome you to the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One. Second round action is brought to you today from Raleigh by Intuit TurboTax. And even a high noon showdown for a bid to the Sweet 16 brings a great crowd inside Reynolds Coliseum and Valvano Arena here in the middle of the NC State campus. The 7th seed Michigan State in their second straight NCAA tournament, trying to take a step where they have not been in a long time. And to do it, they will have to beat the 2 seed NC State inside this venue. And moments ago, Robin Fralick talked to her team at Michigan State.
And we've done this all season. We get to do it again today. Okay, we get to play with a level of appreciation for what this game is, what this game means, what our program means. Okay, and never, ever, ever underestimate how much we need each other. Okay, we're going to need every single one of you tonight. Together on 3, 1, 2, 3. Together.
Works from the the second-year coach of the Spartans. You see the Spokane 1 bracket. Winner of this game will meet the winner of tonight's Florida State LSU game in the Sweet 16 next week in Eastern Washington. It is terrific to be joined by the former national champion Stanford, Angela Taylor, West Durham. We think we've got a great day of basketball for you. We're going to start right here because this is where styles differ a little bit between the Spartans and Wolfpack.
The matchup this afternoon between NC State and Michigan State is all about who wins the paint. Michigan State loves to attack the paint off the dribble. 71% of their shots on Saturday against Vermont were in the paint, and that is when they're at their best. Michigan State is going to take everyone to try to protect the paint today.
It's going to be interesting, and for the Wolfpack, they got a huge lift on Saturday from sophomore guard Zoe Brooks.
Zoe Brooks is a phenomenal playmaker off the dribble. She says her best skill is her ball handling skills. She loves to attack off the dribble where she is fantastic in the mid-range game. She had 8 points on Saturday in the first quarter, and she's a tone setter for this team. For Michigan State, it's all about Grace Van Sluten. The forward is the best player that they have in the paint. She loves to get to her mid-range game, and defensively, she's such a presence in the post. She's a defensive force. Her best skill, though, is getting the ball in the low block where she has excellent hands and footwork and is able to get to the free throw line. 10 free throws on Saturday.
So the Spartans and the Wolfpack. Here's our Capital One starting lineups for Michigan State. We told you about Van Sluten. Julia Ayrault is also terrific, especially on the glass. Jocelyn Tate's their best defender. Theron Halleck, Jaden Simmons round out the 5 for Robin Freilich. And, of course, the Wolfpack has Isaiah James ready to go, Angela.
Isaiah James did not have a great game against Vermont on Saturday. We looked for NC State to get the ball in their hands early and often. She was the key and the catalyst for their run to the Final Four last year.
Westmore said to us yesterday we might have been a little rusty coming into the ball game, having had 12 days off prior to the win against the Catamounts. Michigan State felt like they'd advanced because of who they are from a DNA standpoint, especially on defense in the victory against Harvard. Spartans with the first opportunity. Van Sluten against Trigger, the young freshman who starts at the post for Westmore's Wolfpack.
That's going to be a key matchup on the evening. Can Trigger control the paint against Van Sluten?
Jocelyn Tate, Theron Halleck with 7 to shoot. Here's Halleck on the drive, blocked from the backside by James.
Great help side defense by Isaiah James on that play. A lot of floor spacing for Michigan State.
Trigger thought about the 3, and here's James's first touch at the offensive end. Baseline against Halleck, jumper away, and Isaiah James has the Wolfpack's first point.
Well, I think Isaiah's been thinking about this for the last 48 hours. She knew that she had to get going in this ball game.
Inside Van Sluten's first catch against Trigger. Nope, traveling. Here's the call from Maggie Tiemann, who works with Billy Smith and Mark Resch here today at Reynolds Coliseum.
Well, that's a key. Is Tilda Trigger's size at 6'6", is that going to bother Grace Van Sluten? When she gets the ball in the low block, she has great hands and great footwork.
Backcourt pressure, and Zoe James to Rivers, and quickly ahead. Here's James, a 3. Backside rebound. Madison Hayes had a crack at it. Spartans come away in transition. Van Sluten's intended receiver, that ball got deflected, and finally, after a slap around, NC State's got it.
NC State does not want to mess around the ball in the backcourt.
3 away and good from Madison Hayes.
And the veteran coming up big in another game. The second half, Madison Hayes played really well, crashed the offensive boards, and that was the tone setter in that second half.
5-0 the Wolfpack, and a turnover by Tate. 3rd for Michigan State.
One of the things that Westmore talked about, it was going to be energy and effort. Would his players come out with the necessary energy and effort to match Michigan State's? And we're seeing it early on the defensive end, which is great to see for NC State.
3-time ACC Coach of the Year, including this campaign. Wolfpack's at 27-6. They went 16-2 in the ACC. Here's a pull-up from Rivers. Van Sluten had a crack at it. Hayes almost knocked it away. Instead, Simmons on the attack. A crack in the defense, and Rivers eliminates the layup.
For most players, if you don't pick up a ball handler in transition, they're going to have an easy layup. It looked like Simmons had an easy layup, but you see why Sanaya Rivers is so potent defensively. The length and speed that she has on the defensive end makes a difference.
Team high 44th block of the year for Rivers. Van Sluten against Trigger. Can't finish. Second chance. Good. Grace Van Sluten, who averages right around 4 offensive rebounds a game, gets the Spartans' first basket. And at the other end, Isaiah James back to work.
And that is what cannot happen if you're Michigan State. You cannot allow NC State to get a layup off of a made basket. You have to get back in transition.
Hayes against A-Roll. Now Halleck to Van Sluten. Trigger played over the top. Van Sluten, the easy bucket.
One-on-one on the low block. Van Sluten help side came over to Zoe Brooks, but she's just too small to be able to defend that high release point from Van Sluten.
A lot of respect for Westmore and his staff about the athleticism that Grace Van Sluten has. Yeah,
Westmore recruited her out of high school. We'll tell you a little bit about that story, but they've seen how good Van Sluten can be.
Trigger's first basket.
Tilda Trigger is going to be key for this team inside the paint. Can she defend, and offensively, can she provide that inside presence?
Jocelyn Tate off the spin. Hayes had a crack at the rebound. Last touched by Tate. It'll go back to the Wolfpack, protecting a 5-point lead. Less than 3 into this first quarter. Just over 3 into the quarter.
One of the things that Michigan State's success is predicated on is their defensive effort, getting out in passing lanes, getting deflections and steals. NC State is going to have to make crisp passes and take care of the ball.
They tried to double team James and got a turnover. Here's Van Sluten racing at front court. Back to Halleck. Quickly left side, Tate now. Lob in the catch. Here's Van Sluten. And it got knocked away. James digged down deep defensively off the baseline.
We saw an immediate triple team as soon as that pass went up to Van Sluten. There were 3 players on the move.
Fourth turnover, Hayes at 3.
Madison Hayes shooting 40% from the 3-point line on the season. Getting NC State out to an early lead right now. And Madison, the veteran on this team, knows that she's going to have to make big plays to get them going. NC State up 8. Madison Hayes shooting it well from the 3-point line.
Couple of threes for Hayes and an 8-point NC State lead in Raleigh. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? The second round today presented by Intuit TurboTax. Now this is Texas. Snapshots a year ago from NC State's march to their second Final Four in Cleveland. And of course, Westmore picked up his 300th win as the head coach of Wolfpack here on Saturday. And Wendy's fueling the run is all about State's dominance in this building, Angela.
Yeah, they've been pretty phenomenal here at Reynolds Coliseum. Very difficult to play, and it's one of the things that they talk about. They recognize that they are really good here at home.
Nyla Hampton brings it front court for Michigan State. She's the first substitute off the bench of Robin Fralick. Inez Sotelo, the sophomore freshman from Spain, is also checked in. There's Tate, a drive and a score. Jocelyn Tate. And she'll get James's first foul.
Tate continuing where she left off on Saturday, attacking the paint, going left off the dribble. Excellent job getting to that lower block and finishing with contact. One of the things that NC State does not do is they like to be aggressive defensively, but they want to try not to foul. If Michigan State can get to the rim and get NC State into foul trouble, that'll be an interesting storyline.
Spartans get the 3-point trip from Jocelyn Tate, the senior transfer from Pickerington, Ohio. They were terrific here, by the way, at the free throw line against Harvard. They were 22 of 27 against the Crimson on Saturday.
Right now we see Michigan State in a 3-2 zone.
Rivers a triple. Right over the top of the zone goes Sanaya Rivers.
And I'll tell you what, right now Michigan State doesn't have any answers. If NC State continues to shoot 75% from the 3-point line while you're trying to protect the paint, it's going to be really difficult to hold them down.
Van Sluten the miss. Hayes the rebound. Wolfpack again pressuring. Rivers, baseline. Trigger battled inside against Emma Shoemate. Last touch by the freshman from Stockholm. And Sanaya Rivers, a 27% three-point shooter. Missed on the soft jumper after knocking down the 3.
She shot that 3 with a lot of confidence.
Sotelo beats Hayes on the dribble, layup good. 18 minutes and 7 points on Saturday against Harvard for Inez Sotelo.
Van Sluten was at the high post, so that cleared out the paint. Trieger was not there to defend that paint attack by Sotelo.
James, meanwhile, 7 for Zaza, including her first 3 of the day.
Well, NC State hit 5 of their last 6 field goals, shooting the ball really well from the three-point line, which is not what you expect. So if you're Michigan State, you're going to come out and defend that three-point line.
Inside, Van Sluten fights and a draw foul. And the foul is going to be ticketed to Trieger. It'll be her first. It's the second on the Wolfpack. And we get a break in the action here in Raleigh. NC State's built a 9-point lead. 3's away for the Pack. They are 4 of their first 5 here at Reynolds.
Let's talk about NC State. Can we give them some respect?
They're coming in with limited expectations, but they have slayed giants.
NC State's men's and women's team reached the Final Four on the same day.
It's the most amazing thing in college basketball that I've ever seen.
Like I said from the jump, man, why not us?
Why not us? Why not us? Why not us?
Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on ACC Network. Why not both? The miraculous run by the Wolfpack men, and of course the long-awaited Final Four appearance for Westmore and NC State and Cleveland. It's the story of a documentary that premieres on ACC Network. Well, here early today in Raleigh, Angela, the second-seeded Wolfpack are off to a flying start, especially and maybe in some respects surprisingly behind the three-point line.
Yeah, NC State is saying, why not us from the three-point line? We have the ability to shoot threes as well. You know, coming into this ball game, we all anticipate that they're going to attack the key, attack the paint, get to their mid-range game. That certainly is where NC State is at their best. But today, with Michigan State packing the paint, trying to get in the gaps, playing help side, their shooters have done a good job from NC State of stepping up for the three-point line and making it, shooting 80% on 4 or 5 shooting. And that is going to open the floor for their dribble penetration as well if they're able to continue shooting it.
Wolfpack have already equaled the number of threes they hit on Saturday in 40 minutes against Vermont. They were 4 of 20. Today they're 4 of 5, and that's 1 off their season high for threes in a quarter. Well, and you see Isaiah James is pretty responsible for some of this.
And I appreciate the energy and the effort that Isaiah came out of this ball game with. She's the veteran leader, and she was a little bit disappointed in that performance on Saturday, particularly after all of her numbers were elevated last year on that Final Four run. 23 points on 48% from the floor, 50% from the three-point line. Expect her to have a good game today.
Grace Van Sluten, no stranger, believe it or not, to Reynolds Coliseum. At the free throw line for the first of 2, and it spins out. She's a 64% free throw shooter. Transfer from Oregon. Recruited by Westmore out of Toledo. And again out of the portal. Missed them both there.
Yes, Luton's going to have to hit those. She's going to get to the free throw line today. She's going to have to take and make those shots.
Here's Zoe Brooks going to work against Nyla Hampton, who was part of that defensive tag team on Harmony Turner on Saturday at Harvard. Wow. Brooks lost it in the midcourt area of the Spartan pressure. Turnover number 2 on the Wolfpack. Here's Hampton to the trailing Shoemake for 3. A back rim miss that's finally gathered by Hayes, and a foul on Inez Sotelo.
Nice box out by all 5 NC State players right there. But you saw the defensive end. Michigan State is going to get back into this ball game with some disruptive defense, and it's going to cause some deflections. Great job with a high hedge by Van Sluten on that play, causing that turnover.
You see that Emma Shoemake has come in. Julia Arol to the bench for Robin Freilich. Hampton's out there, and Halleck is also over there, as is Simmons. So a little bit of the depth that Freilich has at the Spartan bench already being employed. A 3 by Hayes is good. Oh my goodness, that's 5 threes in the quarter, and 3 of them to Madison Hayes.
Well, every Michigan State player had a foot in the paint, looking to Zoe Brooks, looking to penetrate off that on-ball screen. Left Hayes wide open.
Sotelo the drive, rebounded. Lorena Awu, sophomore from East Moline, or freshman from East Moline, Illinois, pulls it away.
Michigan State doing a nice job of not allowing NC State to get out in transition.
Rivers, mid-court area against Jocelyn Tate. Reverses at the foul line, gets a layup. 5 points for Sanaya Rivers.
That was beautiful. The ball handling, change of pace by Sanaya Rivers on that. Got the defense leading and got herself to the rim with an easy layup.
8-0 run for the Wolfpack. Spartans looking for an answer at the offensive end. Van Sluten, and it falls away to a Woo. What's your level of concern if you're Robin Freilich right now, Angela? Backdoor lob for James.
I'm really concerned if I'm Coach Freilich because NC State's getting to all their spots. Whatever they want right now, they can get to offensively, and Michigan State's aggressive defense has not been able to disrupt thus far.
Sotelo, take, into traffic. Hampton in the 10 to shoot against Brooks.
And it's on the offense that Michigan State's going to have to plow back into this.
Van Sluten the catch. Hampton's three is blocked by Rivers. 2 on the shot clock for the Spartans.
Well, 8 minutes into this ball game, this is one of the best defensive efforts that I've seen from the Wolfpack on the season. They are flying around, and this is a phenomenal block shot by Sanaya Rivers. She's doing it a little bit of everything on both ends of the floor right now, and their length, size, and quickness is really something that Michigan State has not been able to adjust to thus far.
Been almost 3 full minutes since the Spartans have scored. Trailing by 16 with the shot clock going off. Simmons over the glass and out of play.
Another great defensive possession by NC State. They're moving around, they're helping and recovering, getting back to their players, closing out on shooters, doing a really nice job defensively.
Here is Brooks against Simmons, who picks Zoe right up at the timeline. James, Hayes, and Rivers have been the story, and Isaiah on the drive is going to draw the foul from the grad transfer, Jaden Simmons. Back to Sanaya Rivers, who's had a 3 and then this.
Look at this crossover. Got Jocelyn Tate, a great defender, leaning one direction, crossed it over in the next direction. We talked to Michigan State's players yesterday. They said this is like having 3 Harmony Turners on the floor at once. All the offense that these NC State guards bring to the table.
Hayes' lob was deflected out of bounds. 15 to shoot for the Wolfpack.
And Sanaya Rivers is so fun to watch with the ball in her hand. She has great court vision, but also is able to get to her spots off the dribble.
Brooks is trying to get it in bounds, slides it to Hayes. That got blocked by A-Roll. And away come the Spartans.
Good recovery by A-Roll.
10-0 run the last 3 minutes and change. Michigan State scoring drought coming up on 4 minutes. Halleck tries to end it, cannot. And Brooks touched it last before it went over the inline. So a fresh 20 for Robin Freilich's team.
That was a good look by Halleck. Again, NC State's defense is moving on the ball, closing out on shooters. Where will the scoring come with Van Sluten on the bench right now for Michigan State?
Here's A-Roll. Julia baseline. Bounds away and Alou the rebound.
Again, you see NC State's lead bothering the shooters for the Spartans.
Michigan State's missed their last 7. Rivers in front, knocks it down.
And that was great defense by Theron Halleck on that play, but just better offense by Sanaya Rivers right there. When she gets to her spot, she can elevate and jump over any defender.
Tell you what, James, Rivers, and Hayes have been the stars for Westmore's team. A-Rod a long 3, and the rebound for James. Inside the final minute of the first period, 18 points already the lead for NC State, and a turnover there by James. 3rd on the Wolfpack.
Really important offensive possession for Michigan State right here. They need to get a good look.
Simmons for A-Rod. Long 3. Hayes the rebound. And now Westmore says 1 shot. Shot clock and game clock almost congruent. And Theron Halleck has the assignment on the explosive Sanaya Rivers. Here's Rivers. Kick out James. A long 3 banged out of there. Here is Hampton at the midcourt line. Double team there. They will not get a shot away. And Michigan State goes the last 5 minutes and 5 seconds of this opening quarter without a point.
It's been all NC State in this first quarter. Ending this first quarter on a 12-0 run, and they're getting it from all over the place on the defensive end and offensively. They're shooting 71% from the three-point line. NC State on fire.
We're going to quarter 2 in Raleigh, and the Wolfpack is leading by 18. And Angela, a lot of it has to do with their proficient three-point shooting.
Michigan State is picking their poison, and they're trying to take away their paint. That's leaving NC State shooters wide open at the three-point line. They have not had many contested threes, but the difference today is they are taking them and making them, shooting the ball with a lot of confidence. One of the things that Coach Moore talked about in practice yesterday was that they are really good here at home. They just have to play with a lot of confidence. NC State has come out with a lot of confidence on both ends of the floor today in this ballgame.
You see the 30th appearance in this event for the Wolfpack. On that list for most appearances without a title. Zone here by Robin Frelick Spartans. Out of the corner, Quigley, who had a terrific day Saturday against Vermont. Most of it on the defensive end. Hayes tries to fire and down.
The most efficient three-pointer in the business is off of an offensive rebound because the defenders are scrambling trying to find their players. Madison Hayes wide open in the short corner with that three.
4-3 for Hayes. She's got a dozen to lead all scorers. It is 30-9. Excellent for Simmons.
Excellent court game by Sanaya Rivers. 4 assists already on the game.
7 to shoot. Theron Halleck on the drive. Can't finish. Van Sluten. Kick it out. A-Roll thought about the three. Step in 2. Shot clock violation.
Textbook defense there by NC State. Once again, the rotation of the players on the pass. All 5 players are moving. They're on a string. Wu came over and helped. Then Madison Hayes came out to defend that shot. Excellent job. 15-0 run for NC State.
Rivers to work. A-Roll tried to, Van Sluten tried to force the steal. 15 to shoot. Quigley, a quick look for Awu and turned it over. So the Wolfpack, 4 turnovers. Michigan State has 7. NC State's converted that to 6 points. That is the least of the concerns right now for Wes Moore. And that's going to be on Lorena Awu.
You know, NC State wants to be physical with Van Sluten, but right there, Awu was a little bit too physical on that cut and attempt to go set a screen on the ball by Van Sluten.
First of the quarter, by the way, Angela, on NC State.
Once again, they do such a great job of defending without fouling.
Halleck a 3 off the Van Sluten screen. Brooks the long rebound. Long outlet pass for Rivers. Sanaya foul line, and it bounced out. Backside for A-Rod on the rebound. Here's Simmons. See if the Spartans can generate some offense, trailing 21. A-Rod the catch and shoot. Good. Julia A-Rod stops the drought.
Nice communication by Simmons and A-Rod on that play. Simmons saw A-Rod trailing. She had a wide open jumper off the three-point line.
Grad student from Grosse Pointe Wood, Michigan. Averaging almost 15 a game, her first basket. Quigley into trouble. Halleck reached in on the double team, knocked it away.
That's when Michigan State is at their best. If you turn your back on the defense, they're going to come run and jump and try to get some steals.
Robin Frelick's team trails 18.
NC State was working on their out-of-bounds plays. Really good and out-of-bounds underneath.
And Quigley makes the save. Back to Awu. Working there against A-Rod, and Lorena got tied up on a held ball. And possession will go to the Spartans here.
Credit to Michigan State. Active and aggressive. They know that they can't chip into this lead with one possession. It starts on the defensive end. Can they get stops? Can they get deflections and steals and get easy opportunities in transition?
Halleck against Rivers. Off the Van Sluten screen. Simmons on the drive. Had it blocked. Awu. Wow.
Awu did a great job on Van Sluten on that play, forcing her off the low block and a nice help side.
Zoe Brooks took the initiative to the basket, took the contact. It's on Simmons. It'll be her second. First of the quarter on Michigan State. And Brooks, the sophomore, Plainfield, New Jersey, going to get a couple of free throws here. The drought, by the way, for Michigan State was 6 minutes and 48 seconds. Without a point.
And they had shots. They just didn't have any clean looks because NC State was doing such a great job of getting out and testing every single shot that Michigan State was taking.
Don't forget the NCAA Women's Championship continues through tonight and concludes on Sunday, April 6th, as we crown a champion in Tampa for the 5th straight year. Every NCAA Women's title game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 championships. So on the second foul, Robin Freilich takes Jaden Simmons out of the lineup. Nyla Hampton, who played for Freilich at Bowling Green, transferred to Ball State, now will finish her collegiate career at Michigan State playing for her first college coach. Will handle the offense.
So look at the activity defensively from the Wolfpack.
Ayroll back for Tate, 8 to shoot. On the drive, feed to Van Sluten. And Grace misses in traffic against the combination of Hayes and Alou. And a foul called, and it's going to be on Jocelyn Tate.
Tate was a little frustrated on that foul. Great job, dribble penetration to her left, and Tate help side came over. She had a nice dump off to Van Sluten. But once again, NC State's defenders did a phenomenal job on the pass of moving their feet and getting over, making it really difficult for Van Sluten to shoot over Alou.
Brooks will bring it through the backcourt. Wolfpack, 1 of 3 in the quarter, but still shooting 63% for the game. And building what was once a 21-point lead. Here's James for Brooks, 3-ball away. Bounced out. Sotelo, the long rebound. Ayroll, Sotelo, and Van Sluten on the floor now for the Spartans.
So 3 bigs. Yes, you can say won't have the same floor spacing or the same quickness defensively, but you can tell that Coach Freilich is looking for any way to get going offensively, and those 3 post players all provide a little bit of scoring.
8th turnover, by the way, a moment ago. Theron Halleck and her coach visit, and she comes out of the ball game, and Emma Shoemate has reported back. So Sotelo, Hampton, and Shoemate with Van Sluten and Ayroll. And James went down awkwardly after a collision over in front of the Spartan bench. The ball is going to stay with NC State here. Van Sluten, I think, off her shin.
Van Sluten has been really aggressive on those high hedges here in the second quarter. And that particular time, it looked like it could have easily been called a foul.
The crowd wanted a foul on Van Sluten. James, spot up 3, got it. Isaiah James now with a dozen. Her second triple.
Off the dribble, that was not an easy shot. Inez Sotelo was right there, but James was just a little bit better.
Hampton. Now Sotelo working against Hayes. Backdoor cut, stolen by James. Terrific play, 9th turnover on Michigan State. 5.5 to go in the opening half. Quigley tried to get baseline against Shoemate. Alou battles, put it back up, draws the Spartan foul. It'll be the 3rd of the quarter, by the way, Angela, on Michigan State here.
And right now, they just are 1 step too late on so many of these different plays is Michigan State. Lorena Wu doing some really nice things in her 9 minutes on the floor defensively and offensively going to the offensive glass. 6 rebounds.
At the line, though.
6 rebounds in 9 minutes.
Yep, and this is there. She's now 19 of 50 at the line. And Lorena, the freshman who had 12 minutes against Vermont, missing them both. Lead is 22. And Hampton to work here for Coach Freilich's team.
Got a mismatch right there in the post. James guarding the wall.
Kick out. Shoemate, a three from the front is good. Emma Shoemate's 43rd three of the year. She was scoreless on Saturday, but on the board here today to make it a 19-point Wolfpack lead. Brooks into traffic, and a foul will be called. And we get a timeout. Under 5 to go. The second seed, NC State. Don't forget the NCAA Women's Championship is brought to you by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico. We're back to Raleigh in a moment.
Coming up on our Degree in the Studio halftime report, the Hall of Famer Muffet McGraw, Megan McEwen, Kelsey Riggs-Cuff going to be with you shortly, taking a look at our next game as Texas and Illinois tip off at the conclusion of this one. But right now, we got to talk about what we're seeing from NC State, because the fast start that we've been talking about, they gave it to us.
No pain points, but 64% from the three-point line, led by Madison Hayes, 4 for 4.
You're high on the defense. Michigan State looks completely out of whack. NC State's defense has been off the chain right now.
Wes and Angela, that and much more coming up when we see you in the studio for the Degree in the Studio halftime report.
All right, Kelsey, thanks very much. Here in Raleigh, feels like a big 4:50 to go for Robin Fralick's team at the end of this first half. The Wolfpack may have thrown more than one haymaker to start the game, and now Tilda Trieger back on the floor and a held ball whistled, and it'll stay with the Wolfpack with 12 to shoot. And Angela, I say that only because NC State's been so proficient, as Coach and Megan just said, really in both disciplines, offensively, and they've also caused some real problems defensively.
Yeah, I think that the energy and the effort on the defensive end has set the tone for NC State in this ball game. It's gotten the crowd into it, and it's given them an opportunity to get out in transition or into their secondary break to get easy open looks. And then offensively, they've been phenomenal from the three-point line, as is unexpected for many of us who were expecting them to get into the paint as much as possible.
Look out. We almost had one come right here. I was going to get to see Angela Taylor make a play.
I want the ball in my hands right here.
Isaiah James almost saved us. Yeah, she did save it. Us and the ball. But it was already ruled out of bounds, so it goes to Michigan State. Simmons on a shake and score. Jaden Simmons plays the rest of this half with 2 fouls. And Michigan State's cut it back to 17. It's been as big as 22 in this first half.
Nice execution by Michigan State on that play. Excellent screen by Van Sluten.
Pressure's a little more assertive, and that's an offensive foul on Sanaya Rivers. So a couple of turnovers, a basket by Simmons in transition, and I think Robin Fralick's buying into your theory of how big the final 450 was going to be.
Yeah, these last 5 minutes of the game, it's all about defensive effort for Michigan State. And can you get back in the ball game? Can you get this down to single digits, under 10 in the last 4 minutes, and go into the halftime, settle down a little bit, and figure out ways that you can stop this NC State offense?
Simmons working. Here's Sotelo. Van Sluten calling for the ball well off the block against Trieger.
NC State's post players are doing a great job of pushing Van Sluten off the block.
And Grace Van Sluten gets the roll on the foul line jumper. 6 for Van Sluten.
And that's where she's really good. She talked to us yesterday. She's at her best when she's in her mid-range or high post game, able to face up bigger bigs.
7-0 run by the Spartans. Rivers out of the corner. James. Boy.
You know what? Isaiah James is just in her bag today. Hampton did an excellent job defensively, closed out, had a hand up on that shot. James just finished.
Hampton on the drive. Trieger kept it alive and recovered it. Here's Rivers. Ahead again. James a shot fake. Pull up 2. Good.
Got a little bit of everything going. You have to come out and defend at the three-point line, and that just allows, with an excellent shot fake, James to be able to get to her spot.
7-0 run by the Spartans, met with a 5-0 run by the Wolfpack. James with 17 now. Lead back to 20. Van Sluten spins on Trieger and scores.
That was nice. You see why she's such a versatile post player. When she gets the ball on the low block or the mid post, she has so many different moves in her arsenal. Excellent turnaround jumper. Van Sluten worked really hard defensively as well, particularly on the on-ball screens. Having to come out in high heads and get back to Tilden.
Hayes, another one. Sure. Madison Hayes with 15 in the first half. That's her 5th three.
5 for 5 from the three-point line.
She's got 15 today. She only had 9 on Saturday. And Rivers knocked it off Simmons' leg. A Michigan State turnover, and now with 2:01 to go, the Wolfpack, a little bit of a run on 3 of 3 shooting, has pushed it back to 21.
And this is what we saw from NC State last year during their run to the Final Four, is even when they got down, even when they weren't playing well, they were able to get back into it defensively and offensively. They're so disruptive, so difficult to defend.
Hayes rattled out on another one.
That was a little bit of a heat check right there.
First miss from behind the arc today. Jocelyn Tate against James. Here's Emma Shoemate and a back rim miss, and Trigger the rebound and a quick outlet, and the Wolfpack running the floor. Skip for Quigley. The freshman three is good.
And Sanaya Rivers knew that was going in as soon as she passed the ball to Quigley.
10th three of the half for NC State. Taken away again, and here is Rivers, open floor. Sotelo to beat, layup good.
That play, Devin Quigley hit a three-pointer on one end of the floor, and on the opposite end, got her hands on the ball to help Rivers with that steal.
Van Sluten to catch and score. 10 for Grace Van Sluten. And Westmore urging his team to keep the volume turned up here. The Wolfpack one off their season high for threes in a game. There's a miss. The rebound Shoemate. And Michigan State can hold for one here, and I think that's what Robin Freilich will want to do.
Take your time and get Van Sluten on the move in the mid-post.
Eight to go, Van Sluten. Over Trigger, bounced out, Hayes the rebound, and the Wolfpack. Here is Rivers, good if it goes, and it's about the only miss they've had from behind the line.
NC State has been so good.
10 of 16 from 3 in this first half. 17 for James, 5 threes for Hayes. Rivers with 9 points and 7 assists. 47-23. NC State. Our next stop, Degree in the studio with the Hall of Famer Muffet McGraw and Megan McEwen. Here's Kelsey Riggs Cup.
Welcome to Degree in the studio.
As Wes said, alongside the Hall of Famer Muffet McGraw, Megan McEwen, I'm Kelsey Riggs Cuff, and all I have to say is wow. NC State, they got the message that apparently Wes Moore was delivering about a fast start. Their most points in a first quarter since January when they had 25. Coach, they're up 47-23 right now. A lot is going right. What did you see?
Well, they really like to score on a one-on-one situation. That's kind of their thing. But they got some exciting plays that can happen too. And what I'm excited about is they have 11 assists right now. Yesterday, they only had 2 assists in the first half. They're very good one-on-one, and here's why. They're really good at it. Okay, when you see Sanaya Rivers, she has a mismatch in pretty much every game, but she can make a great pass. She likes to play the point. She likes to give the ball up, but they're pretty good.
I got to tell you, it's really fun to watch games with Coach right now because she loves the offense, and you got to hear what she's pointing out. What stands out to me is the defense from NC State. Michigan State looks completely out of whack. This is a team that finished in one of the top areas of the Big Ten, but still, they have not been able to get any offensive going. First and foremost, they have not had any spacing. NC State's done a great job crowding the paint. When the ball goes inside, there have been 2-3 bodies around Grace Van Sluten, and then just not having the awareness of where people are on the floor. You're running into players. Look, shot clock violation about to happen. This Michigan State team has a lot of veterans. This is not what they normally look like, but right now NC State is making them play really fast and just totally out of whack.
11 turnovers in the first half, and coach, and you see something like that as a coach, as you did at the end of the first quarter. That's tough as you're trying to get your team right back in it.
Yeah, it really is. And what I like is the way NC State's guarding the ball screen. They're jamming Van Sloot, so she can't get to the rim, and I think the guard's trying to get under. And it's working so far, but I think the defensive intensity, they came out with a lot of intensity, different than they did in the first round.
And then they're taking that defensive intensity and they're knocking down threes at an insane rate right now, knocking down 10 in a game. Are you kidding me, NC State? They're spreading the floor wide open. Are you kidding? Madison Hayes went 5 for 5. And then she went 5 for 6, so she did miss one. Although I do think her toe was on the line, so stat sheets,
I know you wanted that to be a 2.
I wanted them to give her a 2 so she could keep it 100% from 3. NC State spreading the floor, and Michigan State played a couple possessions of zone, and you just had zone busters. They were moving the ball, forcing the zone to shift and finding the gaps, and that's how the open 3 started.
Yeah, well, if they go back to that zone, I hope they do a little more inside out.
That's what coach was calling for. They have made 10 threes in the first half. Usually they make about 6.8 per game, shooting 63% from beyond the arc. Okay, NC State, we see you. What answers will Michigan State have?
In the Studio is presented by new whole body deodorant from Degree for all day odor protection from your pits to your feet. Welcome back to Degree in the Studio.
That'll be after the conclusion of this one, but right now, how about Isaiah James and NC State getting it done in the first half? That's the way to do it. Michigan State trailing 47-23.
In the Studio is presented by new whole body deodorant from Degree for all day odor protection from your pits to your feet.
All right, we're going to snap you out of your Monday funk because we have got you covered all day long on the ESPN family of networks. Megan, look at this slate tonight. What do you like?
I like that Mississippi State USC game. Going to be interesting to see how the Trojans respond, how Juju plays. I know she got a little tweaked up the other day, but I'm sure she'll be out strong.
I think that'll be a great game. I'm looking at the West Virginia-North Carolina game. J.J. Quinterly coming off that 27-7 game. Will the North Carolina defense prevail?
Will the Michigan State defense be able to do anything about those threes that NC State is knocking down? This has been Degree in the Studio.
We welcome you back to Raleigh. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One, and you're watching second round action from Reynolds Coliseum, presented by Intuit TurboTax. And the 2 seed NC State comes back on the floor here for second half action, leading Michigan State, the 7 seed, by 24 points. And great to be with Angela Taylor here in Raleigh on another day where we sent 8 more teams to the Sweet 16 on the women's bracket. And Angela, to be honest with you, Robin Fralick's got to hope half the Wolfpack fell in an ice tub at halftime. They are unbelievable, especially from behind the line.
Yeah, it's easy for us to start talking about how great NC State was offensively. 10 of 16 from the three-point line, and that is not what we were expecting from them. We were expecting them to put the ball on the floor and attack the paint, but they're doing an excellent job of taking what the defense gives them. But the thing I'd love to talk about is NC State's effort on the defensive end. They were phenomenal. They were running around, running in Michigan State shooters off the three-point line, coming and helping and recovering, and it was a defensive effort that got them going early on in this game.
Our Invesco QQQ game track shows you the Wolfpack most 3.5 this season, 41 of the 47. And of course, Michigan State fewest points in a half. And Arol misses the soft jumper to start the frame for Robin Fralick's team.
This is the end that it needs to start on for Michigan State. Can you get some steals, some deflections, and stops?
Brooks into trouble. Simmons had a look at it. Oh my goodness, a save. Trigger had it stripped away by Jocelyn Tate. Spartans on the run here. Tate all the way to the basket. And a held ball called on the rebound, and possession will belong to the Wolfpack.
Well, Tate loves to get to that left hand and try to get a left-hand layup, but they're almost like she was looking for contact versus just trying to finish that shot. Those are the things that they need to do. They need to finish and get steals.
And in the backcourt,
A foul called on Zoe Brooks as Michigan State, fairly crafty when they get around to the pressure game. Westmore talked about it before the game with us, and you've seen it at times, but the Wolfpack kept the Spartans out of the press by making shots.
And that's exactly what they did right there. A lot of floor spacing for Michigan State on that play, which allowed Simmons to get to her spot and get to the rim.
Have led by as many as 26. It's 22 after the first bucket of the quarter belongs to the Spartans. Rivers trying to get Trigger backdoor, threw it away. Tate couldn't control it. Hit the far sideline. It'll go back to the Wolfpack.
We talked early in the first half that NC State needed to not play with their feet. They needed to come out with energy and effort. The same thing needs to occur here in the second half. They cannot play around with Michigan State. Already 2 turnovers in the third quarter by NC State. Need to do a much better job of taking care of the ball offensively and not making careless passes.
Gives the Wolfpack 9 for the ball game. Rivers back left side. James. 3 is good. Zaza. Another 3, now has 20.
Starting off where she left off in the first half. 4 for 7 from the 3-point line, and it's really difficult to guard.
There goes Simmons on the drive, and Brooks the foul. Second of the quarter on Zoe Brooks. And another look at Isaiah James.
Well, Rivers doing an excellent job of just finding shooters, open shooters. And once again, Michigan State is a little bit late getting out and closing out on shooters, leaving Isaiah James wide open for a 3-point shot.
Couple of free throws for Jaden Simmons. 11th best free throw shooter in the Big Ten. Misses there. That's her 100th attempt of the year. 1,100-point score at Arizona State. Knocks down the second. 5 in the game for Simmons. Look at this, ahead of the pack. Here is Brooks on the drive. That got blocked and a foul called.
Coach Fralick can't be happy about that. On a free throw, a made free throw at that. NC State's able to kick the ball ahead to Brooks with 3 defenders trailing her.
Julia Ayrault the foul. She'll come out of the ball game. And Emma Shoemake comes in. Zoe Brooks, 79%, missed 2 free throws in the first half, and now is 0 for 3 on the day. And you see the most improved player in the ACC, a triple-double last year. And this season has been a key factor in the 27 wins NC State's posted in 33 games. Trigger a 3, back rim miss. Brooks the long rebound, fresh 20 for the pack. And it spins out for Zoe Brooks.
We talked to Brooks yesterday and we said, what's the best part of your game being from New Jersey? He said, it's all about going one-on-one.
Van Sluten against Trigger, and the foul will be on Tilda Trigger. Freshman from Sweden, her second, 3rd in the quarter on the Wolfpack. And that puts Grace Van Sluten at the line as Trigger, the freshman, visits with Westmore. And Grace Van Sluten told us yesterday, yeah, I came to an elite camp. This is kind of a weird feeling for me. Westmore recruited her out of high school and again in the portal. Angela?
And Wes talked about on Saturday running into Grace Van Sluten's father in the hallway saying, hey, it's nice to see you, sir. Not so good to see your daughter on Monday.
Grace Van Sluten very fond, though, of her experience in that process with NC State. And there's a foul on Van Sluten out in the midcourt area. It'll be her first in the second of the quarter against the Spartans.
Well, Van Sluten talked a lot about just her decision to go to Michigan State, and this is exactly why she went to Michigan State in the transfer portal, because she wanted to win. This is her first opportunity to be in the postseason. They got a win on Saturday, and it's everything that she was about and wanting to participate in.
23-point lead, Brooks for Rivers. Here is Trigger working on Van Sluten with the right hand. And finally recovered Hayes, and a foul will be called. Sotelo, I believe. Inez, freshman from Spain, her second, 3rd against the Spartans.
Well, and Madison Hayes doing an excellent job of going to the offensive glass once again. That was the difference in the game on Saturday when it was a close ball game against Vermont, and Madison Hayes put it on her shoulders to attack the paint.
Free throw good. Don't forget Division I men's basketball coverage continues on CBS, TBS, and True TV starting on Thursday. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. Pair of free throws for grad transfer Madison Hayes. She has 17 now, her second double figure in the last 5. Her season high is 19, and there goes Simmons on an easy bucket. Way too easy for Wes Moore's liking, I'm sure, at the Wolfpack bench.
Well, excellent job by Grace Van Slooten of having a different angle on that screen, allowing Simmons to get downhill off the dribble.
James missed an open layup. Lead is 23. Halleck for Sotelo. And an offensive foul on Theron Halleck. Her first fourth on Michigan State in the quarter.
Well, in order to get back in this ball game, Michigan State's going to have to execute. Watch on this play as Van Slooten sets an excellent screen on Sanaya Rivers, a little bit on her left shoulder, allowing Simmons to get downhill off the dribble.
Brooks fires a pass in the corner for James. Halleck, nice recovery. Step back by James. Trigger had a crack at it. Van Slooten deflected it. Here's Simmons and the Spartans on the run. Tate trying to cross up James into traffic. Brooks the recovery. And now Sanaya Rivers at 6'1" will set the offense. And she is the offense. To the basket. 11 for Rivers.
And she made that over 2 6'3" players. Great job off the dribble. Help side came over from Sotelo. Van Slooten was there. But Rivers is just too long.
Simmons off the Van Slooten screen again on that drive. Rivers the rebound.
Just love Rivers' ability to go up and get the defensive rebound and then to get the team out in transition and make good decisions to pull it out and get in the half court.
Brooks, 15 to shoot. Wolfpack lead is 25. Zoe on the drive. Trigger tried to follow, couldn't finish it. Here's Halleck now.
Another good defensive possession for Michigan State.
And almost over and back, and it was. And now, Robin Freilich might be a little disturbed at some of the unforced errors that are taking place here early in the second half.
Right now, you cannot have that. You have to make good decisions with the ball. You're doing a nice job defensively. Michigan State's held NC State to over their last 5 field goal attempts from the floor. They're doing a nice job getting stops and closing it out with a defensive rebound. But you have to effort to get a good work on the offensive end and get a good shot off at least.
You can tell Theron Halleck frustrated too, the junior from Grand Rapids.
She's so competitive, you know she's not happy with that.
James from the corner.
Excellent ball movement by NC State. They continue to do a phenomenal job of moving the ball around. 12 assists on 20 field goals made here in the game.
23 now for Isaiah James. Lead to 28 now. Sotelo with 8 to shoot. 3, too strong. Hit the top of the glass, but stayed in play. Here's James. Skips it for Hayes. That'll be an offensive foul. Tate stepped in to draw the charge. Second on Isaiah James. 14th foul on the Wolfpack. But Wes Moore's team riding Zaza. Already in the second half, a pair of threes. James has got 23, and the Wolfpack lead is 28 in Raleigh.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA consent is prohibited.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented for you today by Capital One, and it's brought to you by Nissan. Power forward. And a look at the past national champions starting in 21. And okay, Angela, this is our Moving On, brought to you by United Airlines. I want you to pick one of the 7 other games here. If you got to watch one, which one are you going with?
Just one, Wes?
Yep,
You're
just
making
one.
it tough on me. Just one is that 3-6 matchup between LSU and Florida State. Rajay Johnson, Anissa Morrow, special for LSU. And then Florida State, one of the top scoring teams in the country, led by Tanaya Latson, the highest scoring player in the country. It's going to be a lot of offense in that game.
with Flau'jae Johnson. Announced her return with authority.
Yes, she did.
In their round 1 win. Here's Van Sloten in Michigan State. Inside, Jocelyn Tate, and 1 on the foul against Rivers. Mark Resch with the call. Tate's got her second field goal. Rivers has her second foul. It is the 5th of the quarter on Westmore's Wolfpack.
Nice job by Michigan State, spreading the floor and letting Tate go one-on-one on the low block with no help from the post players on NC State.
Tate's free throw off the back rim, and James runs down the ball. Well, Michigan State, who was really good here at the free throw line on Saturday, is struggling today. 3 of 8 at the line are the Spartans. Far side pass and a 3 for Isaiah James. My goodness.
Beautiful skip pass by Sanaya Rivers, her 9th assist on the ball game, and Isaiah James is just shooting the ball like she's in practice in the gym by herself.
She's got 14 games of 20 plus. There's Van Sloten stepping across the lane. Trigger battles, and the rebound by Madison Hayes.
And Sloten's getting looks. She's just not getting any easy open looks. Every shot she is taking is contested by NC State.
Brooks working against Hampton. James the shot fake. And Zoe Brooks fighting for space here. 10 to shoot against James. Trigger needs some help. It's Rivers. 6 to shoot against Simmons. Long 2 off the window.
The bank is open here in Raleigh on a Monday.
The lead, its largest at 31.
I'm not sure that's the play that Coach Moore drew up, but the shot clock running down. The banker from the elbow.
5 for Emma Shoemate. Junior transfer from Dresden, Ohio, averages about 4.5 a game. Inside of 3 to go, and NC State just continues to make shots. Incredibly efficient. They're 5 of 11 in the quarter. They're shooting 58% for the game. James let it go, and out of bounds. Last touch by the Spartans. It looked like Tate and Shoemate were battling Madison Hayes, and the girls in green touched it last. Aralt replaces Van Sloten for Robin Fraley.
Good hustle by Tate and Shoemate on that play. That was probably the 1-3 that we've seen on this ball game by NC State. That wasn't a great 3. James forced that one up a little bit.
Lob for Trigger in traffic, lost it, and Tate comes away with a rebound. 2.5 to go in the 3rd. Here's Simmons, and off the mark, and we're going to get a foul on Aralt, battling with Trigger on the miss.
And it's a subtle thing, but Tilda Trigger did an excellent job boxing out on that play and holding her box out, allowing the guards to try to come in and get that rebound.
And Robin Fralick in her 2nd season already with 44 wins in 2 campaigns at East Lansing. Grew up, went to Davidson here in North Carolina around Charlotte, but is from Okemos in the East Lansing area. Told us a wonderful story the other day. Used to go to her grandparents' house as a child. They were both Michigan State fans, graduates in fact. And they could play in the backyard and hear the fight song at Spartan Stadium on football Saturdays.
In the blood early to be a Michigan State Spartan. And what I loved is you talked to her about her 13-3 record in the postseason. And She talked about that postseason prep that she learned from Coach Sue Ramsey when she was assistant coach, and just like keeping it fun. And that's certainly what she did in the practice that Michigan State had yesterday.
And it seems to be a staple of where the Spartan program is going in her leadership. Because Jocelyn Tate told us she had originally, played for her at Bowling Green, and then the recruiting process, she said, you realize she's the same her every day. And that kind of continuity and consistency, it seems to spread across the program, Angela.
It has. And Jocelyn said so much about just the patience in recruiting when she was deciding to go to Bowling Green. And so it was a no-brainer for Jocelyn to come here to Michigan State. And they've seen the same things, Nyla and Jocelyn, here at Michigan State. And it's that confidence, that consistency, and the connection and connectivity the staff has with the players.
Aralt all the way through on the baseline, couldn't finish. Rebounded by James. Here's Brooks in the backcourt. Front court for Rivers now. Around Shoemate, the scoop, and the score! Sanaya Rivers with 15.
Showtime at Reynolds Coliseum right now. Sanaya Rivers in the open court one-on-one is a handful to guard.
And the ball got thrown away by Tate, trying to bounce it to A-Roll.
Good job by Zoe Brooks. So kicking it ahead. And just one-on-one, Shoemate was on an island against the long, lengthy Sanaya Rivers.
Brooks against Hampton. All the way down. Kick to the corner. Zamaria Jones misses the three. Freshman from Bethel, North Carolina, onto the floor for the first time. Kennedy Blair likewise wears 35 for Michigan State, her first appearance of the day. Played briefly on Saturday. 1:20 to go in the third. It's a 33-point lead. NC State's doubled up the Spartans. The winner goes to the Sweet 16. Hampton the drive. Rivers in the pack again. Lob ahead. Trigger the catch. Blocked from behind by A-Roll.
Michigan State's had a difficulty getting any offense.
Shoemate drains a deep three.
Shoemate 2 for 4 from the three-point line. Has come in off the bench and provided some good moments.
Boy, Emma Shoemate, who started the first 7 games of the season, has only had one double-figure game in their last 13 entering today. And now with 14 to shoot, Rivers and Westmore get a set called here. And here's Sanaya with 6 on the shot clock. Crosses. Jones a three. Got him! Zamaria Jones' 31st three of the year. First points today.
And a double-double for Sanaya Rivers with 10 assists and 15 points.
My goodness. Tate, and the horn will sound. NC State 69, Michigan State 36. And the Wolfpack in the third quarter goes 7 of 16 from the floor, 4 of 7 from 3, and extends the lead 10 away from the Sweet 16. Well, take a look at the Regional 1 Spokane bracket. UCLA, the top seed in the bracket. We'll see the 5 seed Ole Miss next Friday night in Spokane. And, of course, the winner of this game will meet the winner of Florida State and LSU later tonight in Baton Rouge. And Angela told you keep an eye on that one because Anissa Morrow, Flau'jae Johnson for, of course, the Tigers, and the great Tanaya Latson for Brooke Wyckoff Seminoles. Now, Westmore's teams 14 of 23 from 3 today. That's the most NC State's made in their 30 NCAA tournament appearances. They are just shy of the school record, 16. They've got a season high. And the damage from behind the bonus sphere has been impressive right from the start today.
I'll tell you what, if NC State shoots 61% from the three-point line, they are deadly on offensive end. What do you do? How do you contain them offensively?
Van Sluten around a Wu. Couldn't finish. Rivers the rebound as we get our first Wolfpack possession of quarter 4. And here is James, who has been unbelievable at times.
26 points today. Great bounce back game for Isaiah James, doing what we expect her to do in these moments.
Van Sluten the box out of a Wu and the rebound.
One of the things I love about James's teammates, they said, Za is built for these moments. She showed up from the outset in today's ball game.
A-Roll with 18 to shoot. We're a minute in, and there's another turnover on Michigan State. Theron Halleck will come back to replace Kennedy Blair. And boy, Robin Freilich. This kind of stuff drives you crazy.
Yeah, we talk about unforced turnovers.
Right.
Michigan State 15 turnovers on the ball game, and you certainly can't on a simple entry pass commit an unforced turnover against an explosive offensive team like NC State.
Rivers crosses up Shoemate. Floater good off the glass. 8.5, 17 in the game now for Sanaya Rivers.
Sanaya's been special all game long, not only creating for herself off the dribble, but also setting up her teammates for easy looks.
She's got a double-double, her 9th this year, the 12th of her career. For the Wolfpack, Van Sluten shot swatted out of there by Wu.
I'll tell you what, it looked like Van Sluten was going to have an easy layup on that up and under. But Wu did an excellent job of recovering, and you see her leave. The freshman is going to be a force for this NC State program, and she's coming to life here in the tournament.
Halleck, foul line jumper bounds away. She had 10 on Saturday against Harvard, scoreless here today as the junior. Almost 2 minutes gone in this 4th period. Jones into the corner. Rivers a 3. And look at Madison. Hayes go get the rebound. Jones another triple. Bounding rebound off the back of the iron.
I just love Madison Hayes' effort on the offensive glass. It's a difference maker in the game in many ways.
Halleck going to draw the foul against Madison Hayes. That's just the first on Hayes. First on the pack here in the final period. Isaiah James comes out. Halleck at the free throw line. 82%, and that's her first point. Theron is from an incredible Spartan tradition family. Her dad, Ty, was a terrific football player at Michigan State. He's here today, had 144 tackles and a campaign at linebacker. Then was a utility guy in the NFL. He played fullback, tight end, linebacker. One of those special teams guys you got to have to win.
Well, and how about her brother Tate at Western Michigan? 75 tackles, led Western Michigan in tackles last season.
Yep. He and the Broncos in a bowl for Lance Taylor. Kick out, 3 ball away for Jones is going. Second 3.5 for Samaria Jones. And Halleck scores quickly. She's got Michigan State's last 4.
And you see the competitor that Halleck is. 7 minutes left in this game. You know that she's going to go down with a fight. Here offensively for NC State. Freshman playing some big-time minutes. Zam Jones getting to it offensively.
Kick out 3 for Hayes. Bounds away. Rivers almost did collect it. Back for Jones. Sanaya Rivers, by the way, 11 assists. NC State's got 17 today. Rivers is tied a career high. 8 to shoot. Jones a 2. And Aralt and the Spartans go the other way. Hampton. Julia Aralt on the drive and the layup good. Second field goal for the grad students.
Appreciate the Spartans continue to put the ball on the floor and attack the paint. First half into the third quarter, NC State did a much better job of coming over and help side. They haven't been doing that the same effort here in the fourth quarter.
Yep. On the drive, there's Rivers. It rolled out. Halleck the rebound. Pull up 3 right of the circle. And Rivers in the Wolfpack with 5:45 to go. Back at the offensive end. Lacey Steele, the sophomore, onto the floor first time, wearing 24 for Wes Moore's team. She played 3 minutes here on Saturday. There's Lorena Wu scoring. First points for Wu.
Again, another excellent pass. And Wu getting a solid low block position. Great hands and footwork on that finish.
They're not booing, by the way. They're wooing when Lorena scores. Hampton the missed layup. Rivers out of there with it. Sanaya Rivers has been remarkable today, Angela. Just remarkable.
Just the floor general that she's been. The ball in her hands, making great decisions on whether she's attacking off the dribble. On Saturday, she got to her pull-up jumper. Today, she's getting all the way to the rim and then distributing the ball to her teammates where they can just catch and shoot.
Jones, here's Steele with 4 to shoot. Tried to kick it to Rivers, does. Sanaya, shot fake, 3 away. Back rim miss. Van Sluten the rebound, and she's going to take the route of the foul line. And a 3 for Aralt. Another rebound for Rivers. That's 8 for Rivers.
And she's working on a triple-double.
Triple-double.
Triple-double watch here at Reynolds Coliseum.
Yeah, she's going to mess around and get a triple-double.
I think she could. Well, with blocks as well. She's blocks and steals.
Yep.
All around great game for Sinai Rivers.
Hayes. Foul line area. Awu in the lane. Jones on the kick out. Air ball. We get a timeout. Under 4 to go in Raleigh. The Wolfpack looking ahead maybe to Spokane. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Back in Raleigh, let's take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance for Sinai Rivers. Just one of many, Angela, on the Wolfpack side.
Sinai told us on Friday that playing here at Reynolds Coliseum is like heat. There's a lot of heat in this building just from the outset, both offensively and defensively for Sinai Rivers. A phenomenal effort. Spreading the floor, distributing the ball to her teammates, making plays off the dribble, just showing why she's been one of the best players in the ACC all season long.
So now with 3:45 to go, Rivers and James off the floor. So is Hayes and Zoe Brooks. And Wes Moore has brought Mallory Collier in to go with Samaria James. We see Maddie Cox for the first time today, along with Devin Quigley and also Lacey Steele. Foul will be on Mallory Collier, the sophomore from Millington, Tennessee. Her first, the second on NC State. And here's Grace Van Slooten at the line. And she's now 2 for 5 at the strike.
You see why Van Slooten is so difficult to guard. Her ability to face up with the ball on the floor and attack the rim off the dribble at 6'3" is quite unique.
Backcourt pressure. Sotelo and Tate there. There's Steele. Wolfpack leading by 32.
And the difference in this game has been from the three-point line. NC State plus 36 from 3.
Lacey Steele fouled on the drive. Inez Sotelo commits the foul. The third on the freshman from Spain. First of the quarter on Michigan State. And here's Lacey Steele at the line. Just her second free throw attempt of the year. They had 3 minutes the other day against Belmont. And hit the back end. (77-44). The Wolfpack started hot and never flinched here today in Raleigh. Van Slooten with Collier there. Got to the left hand and rolled it in.
Nice move, great footwork, great hands from Van Slooten. And we just take a look at this NC State team. If they can play 40 minutes like they play today, they're going to be extremely difficult to beat in the NCAA tournament.
Yep. There's a lot to take in when you start watching this team. There's Cox at the foul line.
There is. I just remember what these Michigan State players said, that NC State has 3 Harmony Turners. Harmony Turner from Harvard is an explosive scorer, and NC State has 3 of those players, and we saw it in today's ball game with James with 26, Rivers 17, Madison Hayes with 17, and Zoe Brooks didn't have a great game. She had 19 on Saturday. She was more of a floor general today.
Jones at 2. 8 for Samaria Jones. The lead is 33 here. Inside 2 minutes to go. Wes Moore getting ready to take NC State to their 6th Sweet 16 in the last 7 years.
16-8 in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. And that ball got knocked away. Here's Jones with Cox on the drive and layup good. 7 for Samaria Jones. And a timeout will get Julia Aralt into the ball game for Michigan State. And we'll step aside too. 88 seconds to go for NC State's trip to the Sweet 16. Well, it's been a tough afternoon for Robin Freilic's Michigan State team as her second year comes to a close here today in Raleigh, but she's done remarkable work and built such a team-first program since coming to East Lansing. And you see on the second row behind longtime college basketball assistant Dean Lockwood is her daughter Clara. And this is Clara's first basketball game this year. And Angela, the team showed up for Clara with signs. Robin didn't know they were coming. Clara certainly didn't know they were coming.
Was so indicative of the core values of this program. Coach Freilich told us it's about being a great teammate, that manners matter, trust, toughness, and commitment. But the fact that they showed up for that game for 8-year-old Clara made her day, she said, was one of the best days of her life.
And Clara sitting with her dad, Tim, Robin's husband, who's also a fine player in his college career as well. 3 ball by Cox bounds away, but just the team-first approach that's being built in East Lansing certainly got to be encouraging, even though this has been a tough afternoon for the Spartans as Julia Ayrault knocks down the 3. And there's Clara.
There's Clara. You can see her in pregame warm-ups. I think she's going to be highly recruited. She's a skilled young lady at the age of 8.
Yep. Her older brother Will also getting shots up. And Jones has had a nice 4th period. That is 9 in the quarter, 12 all in the second half for the rookie Zamaria Jones.
Zamaria is a talented scorer. She had 18 points earlier this season against Louisville.
Final 20 seconds. Julia Ayrault's college career coming to a close. And NC State's going to dribble this out. The Wolfpack's going to go to 28-6. And Westmore is taking the pack back to the Sweet 16.
Special afternoon here at Reynolds Coliseum. Another
$83-49 is the final. NC State ends up shooting an even 50% from the floor today. And Michigan State slumbers through an afternoon where the Wolfpack defense forced them to 33%. The Wolfpack got 26 from Isaiah James, 17 each from Madison Hayes and Sanaya Rivers, who finished with 11 assists and 8 rebounds. And then 12 off the bench, all in the second half from Zamaria Jones. And the Wolfpack move on now to the Sweet 16 to meet the winner of tonight's game with Florida State and LSU. And pleased to be joined by Isaiah James. Terrific performance. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so much fun to watch you. You guys got going early on, and it was you, like, maybe after a disappointing game on Saturday. Like, what was your mindset coming in today's ball game?
Like you said, it was a disappointing game on Saturday, so, we had to make up for it. Wolfpack Nation is here for us. This was the seniors' last game on this court, so, we had to do it for them, and, it was just so much effort on the court. I'm just so speechless. I'm just so proud of these girls. We came out here, we fought hard. We did everything. Every possession. We played 40 minutes this game.
It is interesting. As much as people want to talk about the offensive side, today might have been also as much about your defensive effort as well.
Yes.
What is that? I mean, how does that function? Coach, yesterday in the practice, there was a lot about, if you want to do some of the things you came here to do, this was an important game. So the defense followed the offense?
Yes, Coach Moore definitely instilled a lot of defense in us. He told us, defense wins games, and, we took control of that today.
Well, one of the things that I stood out in this ball game was Sanaya Rivers and her ability to distribute the ball. You guys are at your best when the ball is moving around the paint. Like, what is it to have a teammate like that's going to find you early and often for shots?
She's one of the best players, man. It don't matter, man. She can see anywhere on the court. I can cut back door. She gonna see me. I can be hidden somewhere. She's gonna see me. I'm so proud of her and the work she did all these years. She's been in college, so the work she's doing is paying off right now.
Zaza, another trip to the Sweet 16. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All the way to Spokane.
All the way.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Terrific performance today by the Wolfpack. No two ways about it. Great to be with
Good luck to you.
Angela, our producer Sean Jackson, our director Bonnie Raleigh, and our wonderful crew. West Durham from Raleigh, 83-49, NC State on to the Sweet 16. Now to the studio.
Guys, thanks so much. Welcome to Degree in the studio. What a performance there from the NC State Wolfpack alongside the Hall of Famer, two-time national championship winning coach Muffet McGraw, Megan McEwen, Kelsey Riggs-Cuff. It is great to be with you. It's the heart hands from Wes Moore for me as he's throwing up the hearts to everybody there at Reynolds. He should be. The win streak that they have been on, they're now winning their 23rd straight game. This was not just a season high in threes, as they were talking about the offense. 15 threes, the most they've ever scored in an NCAA tournament game. Offensively, everything was clicking for this team.
You thought in the first half, okay, they have to cool off a little bit. NC State came out knocking down so many threes when Michigan State especially went to that zone. No, they came out in the second half and picked up right where they left off. Madison Connor had hit, 5 threes in that first half. They come out as a team 15. Coach, you got to be thrilled if that's happening for your squad out there.
I'm so happy for Madison Hayes, and I love that interview with Zia James because she never talked about herself. It was all about her team, and that's how this team has been all year long. Sanaya Rivers, Madison Hayes, and Zia James, they've been so good together. And, if I want to nitpick, they were 50% from the field, 50% from the three-point line, and 50% from the free throw line. So there's room for improvement there.
She's always looking for something that they can do better. I think they're going to be pretty pleased, especially with the start of that game. That was an emphasis for NC State as they now look ahead to see who they will play next.